Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Tanae and this is Uyam Beauty. Today we're going to be doing a fun little Beetlejuice inspired makeup look. So we're going to be using some purples, some greens, some blacks. I'm going to go ahead and start by priming my eyelids. I'm going to use my e.l.f. concealer here to prime my eyelids. We're going to go ahead and do that real quick, and then we're going to go ahead and start putting together our look. I have a couple of different palettes here that we're going to pull from to put together this look. The first palette we're going to use is the Disney Villains Misunderstood palette. This is from a Colourpop collaboration. There was also one that was a Disney Princess inspired one that went along with this one. But I thought the color story in here was just really pretty, and I feel like there were some really nice shades that I could use for this look. I'm going to take Forest of Thorns, which is kind of a satin matte, and that's the first shade I'm going to use. I'm going to go ahead and put that all over the eyelid, or on the top going into the crease. And then I'm going to do kind of a cut crease and take Facilier, which is this mossy green, and lay that on this part of the eye, I believe. And then maybe take 101, which is kind of the black shade, and lay that on the outer corner. First, I'm going to start with the Forest of Thorns, and then we'll just kind of go from there. You know, it could change as I go. So let's go ahead and get started, and we'll just see where we end up. I'm going to take this shade, and I'm just going to pack it right here. And then we're going to blend that towards the inner part of the eye. I'm just going to lay that there on top, like that. Now the tricky part of this eye look will be blending, or whether not blending, packing that green kind of shimmery shade on top when I do the cut crease. I have my BH Cosmetics glitter base that I'm going to use for that, because if you know anything about the color wheel and about color theory, you don't want to blend purple and green together because it'll just become muddy. So the goal is to try to keep the shades separate but together, if that makes any sense at all. So far, I am liking what's happening here. I'm going to try to match it on this eye. Blend that towards the inner corner lightly. We want the concentration of the color to be towards the outside. I'm like intentionally leaving the middle space open so it'll make it easier to place the green there without it getting all muddy into the purple. Just make sure that's all blended. I'm using my dough color crease brush here, by the way, to do all the blending. There was a number on here, but I've washed this so many times the number is like completely washed off, so I'm not sure which number this is. Alright, so far I am liking how this is coming along. I'm going to take my BH Cosmetics Base Booster here, which is basically a glitter adhesive. I'm going to put it on my dough color flat brush right here, flat brush right here. This is one of my absolute favorites. It's got a nice little flat tip on the top there, and we're going to use this to do kind of a cut crease, and I'm going to lay that in the blank space that I left when I laid down the purple. And the goal is to lay down a green right there, and the main reason why I'm doing it this way, like I said, is to kind of make sure the shades don't really just mix together too much, because if you mix green and purple, if you like blend them together, they will kind of muddy, and we don't want that. We're wanting kind of a defined look here. You know, mud is not quite what we're going for. So hopefully this will work out the way that I picture it in my head, because that's something else too. You know, it doesn't always come out the way you picture it. My nails are kind of messy. I didn't have a chance to redo them, but you know, when it comes to Beetlejuice, you know, he's kind of disheveled. He's not really put together, so it kind of goes with this look. But we're going to go ahead and take Facilier, and we're going to lay that down where I lay down my glitter base using the same brush. Hopefully it will come out and lay down and look the way that I'm picturing in my head. Okay, that's pretty. Yes, that is what I was going for. That is what I was hoping to achieve. So I'm just going to carefully lay that down where I put down that base booster glitter adhesive, carefully on the outside edges here, so that the purple and the green don't just muddy together. I want a nice, smooth, sort of defined look here. I am definitely happy with what we are getting. I'm liking how it's coming together. What do you guys think? This is my first time that I've attempted a look like this. You never know how it's going to come out until you actually start putting it together, but these shadows just look so pretty. They look so good together. This particular palette is one of my favorites from Colourpop. All the shades in here were just really, really beautiful. I'm taking the shade a little bit higher because I feel like when I open my eyes, that green is kind of getting lost. That's what happens when you have hooded and semi-hooded eyelids. You open up your eyes and never all the work you just did is like gone. You can't see any of it, so just want to take that just a little bit higher than my actual crease area. I'm going to take a little bit more of the Forest of Thorn shades and just kind of pack it on the top here. I don't want to blend these two together too much. Like I said, we're not trying to muddy the shades. Just want to lightly blend the edges. Just ever so slightly. Now I'm going to pull my beautiful Nightmare palette from Milani, and I'm going to take Goodnight Hisses, which is the black shade here, and lay that on the outer corner. There's a black shade in the Villains palette, but it's not as black as this is. It pulls more like a dark gray than it does a black. This one is a true matte black, and I just want to lay that down on the edge, on the outer corner here, and then lightly blend that up into the crease area, just to add a little depth to the outer corner of my eye. Blend the outside, and then carefully blend it into the crease area. Yeah, that's very pretty. This has become one of my favorite palettes in my collection. This, to me, is what a Nightmare Before Christmas inspired palette should look like. Like, I wish that one from the Eternal Love palette right there, the one from Hot Topic, if the color story had been more like this, it would have been perfect. All right, I am loving that. Now for the lower lash line, I'm going to go ahead and take the Dr. Facilier shade, and I'm going to go ahead and lay that down all over the lower lash line. I might take a little bit of the Forest of Thorns purple shade and blend it like towards the inner corner, but I do want to take this one and blend it just right here on the outside. Add some of that green shimmer to the lower lash line there. This is just a beautiful shimmery green. It's so gorgeous. I'm about to pull this palette out more. I have to say, this is the first time in a long time I've actually used that Villains palette, but this is gorgeous. I need to pull that palette out more. Definitely. Blend a little bit more of that black in the corner there. Last thing we're going to do in the eyes is take the Disney Villains Colourpop Supershock highlighter. This is the Ursula Pore Unfortunate Souls. This was part of that same collection. This one is a really beautiful duochrome purple. I have not had many opportunities to pull this out. It's just this gorgeous purple highlighter. Oh my god, it is absolutely beautiful. But you know, like I said, there aren't many opportunities I have to use a purple highlighter, but for this look, I think it's going to be gorgeous. I'm going to put this in my inner corner and then bring it down to the lower lash line. I might use a little bit on my cheeks. I'm just not sure yet, but I want to take this and lay this down in the inner corner, just to add a little bit of shine and iridescence to that area. I'm going to take a little bit and blend it under the eyes. All right, there. Going a little bit into that green shade, but not too much. We don't want those two too muddy together. And that's it for the shadow. I'm going to throw on my liner and my lashes, then we'll come back. We'll do the blush, the highlighter, the lips, and then we'll be finished. And we're back. Lashes, liner, all that jazz is done. I'm using my Ioni Wispy Flare Spiky Lashes. Absolutely love this particular style. My liner is my Artista liner in black. I went on ahead and I took the Cream Gel Hocus Pocus Colourpop liner. This shade is in Trick or Treat. I put that in my lower waterline. Let's move on to blush and highlighter. The blush we're going to be using is from Wayne Goss. This is the Weightless Veil Blush Palette in Vivid Azalea. The shade that we're using is Shocking, which is this really beautiful purpley shade. This has become one of my absolute favorite blush formulas. This is the only shade I have in my palette that's kind of purple based. And we're just going to take the tiniest bit because this blush, I'm telling you guys, it is so pigmented. I used it in another video. I can't remember which look that was, but I will find it and I will drop the link. But as you can see, I've barely put any on and it is so freaking pigmented. I went a little too ham the first time that I used this and I had like this gigantic purpley streak on my face. So I learned my lesson on that one. Just take the tiniest amount and lightly blend it in. But you see that? It's just the most beautiful purple shade, and it's so skin-like. Like it just blends in so nicely. For highlighter, I'm using the Feelin Fritzy shade. This is from 65 Roses Cosmetics. It's an independent brand. Unfortunately, the brand no longer exists, but the highlighters are so beautiful. She used to have a store on Etsy. I think she did like 2 batches, and then she has a baby, and it just got to be a little bit too much for her, so she stopped doing highlighters, and now she does nails, I believe. But this one is a really beautiful, just iridescent green shift. You see that? This is so gorgeous. And these were homemade. She made these in her kitchen, but I'm going to take my finger, I'm going to tap into it, and I'm going to lay this right here. And basically this is to kind of imitate that moss that we see on Beetlejuice's face. So we're just going to lightly tap that right. You see that? Oh my God, that is beautiful. When I was going through my highlighters, I was going to originally put this Ursula one on because I was thinking I didn't have anything green based. And then I remembered I had this one. Of course, you know, I don't pull this one out very often. I mean, how often am I going to need a green highlighter? So, you know, but for this particular look, it's absolutely perfect. Just gorgeous. And I kind of want to like pile that on. I'm going to take this little brush and just kind of blend everything in there. I absolutely love this shade. It's kind of a rediscovered favorite. I just wish the brand still existed and she was still making the highlighters because they are just so absolutely beautiful. And now I'm going to go back into the Ursula highlighter. I'm going to take the same highlighting brush and go over that, and I'm going to lay that here along the top and blend the two together. This is just a beautiful iridescent purple shade. I'm just going to kind of blend that in the top there. I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit more of the Feelin Fritzy and I'm going to kind of lay it in the tops of my brows here. And blend a little bit more of that green in there. Just really pile it on right there. I don't know, it's just this, oh, this is just such a gorgeous green duochrome iridescent highlight. I mean, it is absolutely gorgeous. Take a little bit more up here, just kind of going a little crazy with it. And now we're going to go ahead and move on to the lips. I'm going to line my lips with my NK lip pencil. This is in red, and the lip color we're going to be using is the LA Colors Velvet Lip Mousse in Rhapsody. It's just a really beautiful purpley shade. So let's go ahead and line our lips first real quick. Not everybody lines their lips with the pencil first, but I do it because I'm over the age of 40. I have little fine lines around my lips, and lining my lips first just helps to kind of keep the lipstick in place, keeps it from bleeding and traveling everywhere and all over my face. So I'm going to go ahead now and fill in with this lip color. This smells so good. It like smells like candy, and the formula is absolutely gorgeous. Lips are done. I think I want to take just a little bit more of this Feelin Fritzy shade and lay it right here in the Cupid's bow. Right there, just to kind of finish things off. And that is the look all done. What do you guys think? I think it came out really, really nice. I love the purple shadow and the green laid down in my cut crease. I have got to pull this palette out some more. I have not used this in months. That green and that purple, just absolutely beautiful. And it was so nice to be able to pull out my Ursula highlighter here, because I haven't used this one in a while too, and the 65 Roses Cosmetics highlighter. Like I said, I wish she was still making highlighters because this is such a gorgeous, smooth, shiny formula. I mean, it just looks so gorgeous. And of course, this Wayne Goss blush palette. This you will definitely be seeing in my favorites. I absolutely love this. If you're new to my channel, I would love it if you hit subscribe. If you're not already subscribed, and join my little family. And if you'd like to be notified of any videos that may be coming up in the future, just be sure to tap the notification bell down below. You'll be notified each and every time. Be safe, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.